No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not so those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smackin' Raw podcast, episode 187. I am your host, the Warden, Mad Ritter, and it is a very special episode. Apropos that it is 187 because we are about to kill this shit. I have with me 1/4 of my Asian massage fantasy, the filthy Filipino himself, Justin Santos. What's going on?
Yo, ¿cómo está? What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling?
Here repping the Get Yo podcast and the host of the Havoc Hour, 1/3 of Young Kings Wrestling, Frozone, the Nature Boy, Reek Flair. Reek, what's going on, man?
What's up?
And at some point, whenever he gets home and gets logged on and shit, Daddy Delgado himself should possibly be here. He told us he wanted to start 5 minutes ago. We gave him 5 minutes, and then we said, "Fuck it, we're gonna start without him." So,
he needs to show his face. He has some answering to do after Sunday and Monday.
Sunday and Monday.
This damn shameless slander. He gonna answer for this.
Well, I'll tell you what. Then we'll save Raw once we get into it. We'll save Raw so that you can drill him for when he shows up. We're gonna do something different here. We're gonna try something new. So I want everyone listening to let me know how you guys feel about this new format, if you like this or if you prefer the other one, because I'm trying to cut down the time so you guys don't have to listen to a 2-hour episode. I know 2 hours is a long time to have to listen to me talk and people laugh at the dumb shit I say. So I want to cut the time down just a little bit, make it a little easier listening for everyone. So we're going to try a new format. We're not going to do it the way we've been doing it. And you guys will see how that goes when we get into it. Before that, Reek is here, which means we need to talk about Black Lives Matter and those Black Lives Matter shirts that you guys can get at whatamaneuver.com, which is the pin tweet over at Matt Ritter. There's that MATTRIDDER. Also, you can find at ykwrestling.com. Money goes to a fund that is distributed to the people who need it. It is not donated to Black Lives Matter. And if you listen to Young Kings Wrestling, TC will explain to you all the reasons why it is not donated to the organization, but it is in support of the movement. So we ask that you do that. And also, we want to continue the conversation about Stop the Asian Hate. We do have Justin here. A lot of shit going on right now.
It's wild. I mean, there was just news that came out about Mr. Nugent. That came out. He was like basically murdered in front of his house. And there's like stuff going on in California. It's just a wild time. So, I mean, just Stop the Asian Hate, AAPI. That's the American Asian Pacific Islander community and organization that helps, stop all this, gets stuff all out. And it's something to go. Donate, look it up, educate yourself. It's just crazy right now. It's just crazy, especially when they're like attacking the elderly.
Exactly. And they're only attacking the elderly because the people that do shit like this are weak-minded, self-centered people who don't have the balls to actually step to someone or do something to someone that would actually pose a threat to them. So they're picking on what they consider to be the weak because they themselves are weak people. And if you're listening to this and you have any inclination of committing any sort of hate crime, you are a weak person. Mentally, you are a weak, sad person.
Yep.
Talk to him.
Tell him, Matt. Tell him.
I think Daddy Delgado should be coming here pretty soon. I just got a message. He says he is running a few minutes behind, and he is running to his apartment to record there. So we might be getting our first instance of Vince in his new home on this podcast.
Ooh. Casting couch? Casting couch?
Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. Spotted the Where's Waldo.
Okay.
Oh,
so that is another
dang.
feature that is new to the Smackin' Raw podcast. If you're watching the video version on YouTube or on Pornhub, there is a Where's Waldo penis that my wife, who, by the way, really loved what you had to say about her on your podcast when this was first brought up after the recap that we did for Fastlane, is really now enthused about finding different places to put this Where's Waldo penis. So as you watch this, look around my background, see if you can find Waldo.
Bro, she's a genius. She's a genius. Like, you have to watch this show on a weekly basis now. Like,
Yep, 100.
That's awesome.
All right, Reek. Well, as you know, when you are here, you are our resident newsman, which means, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for... where'd that go? Oh, there it is. What you got for us?
All right. So most of the stuff you guys are probably knowing already. I'm just going to start with what was supposed to go down tonight. So obviously the talk was that Charlotte was supposed to show up tonight on SmackDown. That didn't happen. However, from what I'm hearing, it's the plan is actually to move her to SmackDown. So you know, then we don't have to worry about Matt losing his shit because he's a Raw superstar on SmackDown show.
That is not true, because I told you, if they come at me with Charlotte got drafted to traded to SmackDown for future draft considerations, there will be a rant, because we did a draft and SmackDown had about 40 future draft considerations built up and didn't get to use none of them. They are full of shit. And I am not accepting that bullshit.
Oh man, listen.
Somebody better go to Raw. I don't care who the fuck it is.
That's the thing.
Send Aleister Black there, put him on the roster. You're not even putting him on TV, so it doesn't even matter. Just shift him over. Do something.
So, also, now obviously we know that Andrade was released. Finally got freed of his contract. He's been posting on social media that he's already talking to some places right now because, you know, you have to worry about the 90-day no compete contract clause. So and also apparently his partner in crime there, Miss Thea Trinidad, is signing with a company. Hasn't said who yet, but it's not AEW. So we're just gonna have to see who, but apparently she's got a new home, and you'll be finding out shortly.
Before you move on, the Andrade stuff. So there were rumors going on that Charlotte was the one that got Andrade his release, and that she was actually asked to sit out Mania, thinking that that would persuade her to, you know, back down, and she actually agreed to sit out Mania as long as they gave Andrade the release, which also led to the rumors about Andrade not having his no compete clause so he can leave right away, blah, 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 blah. So there have been a few rumors going around. I know they tried to cover it up on Raw and say Charlotte had COVID.
Right.
Which made me think, if she had COVID on Raw, how the fuck is she going to show up on SmackDown? Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So I just want to touch on that before we moved on.
Absolutely, because that sounds a little fishy to me too. But Charlotte's a real one for that.
100, yeah.
My wife wouldn't do that shit. She's like, I'm not losing my, like, we still got to get paid.
So I got one that Matt's gonna love. So as we know, Keith Lee has not been cleared yet by WWE. Some medical issue has had him out for the better part of almost 2 months now. But I had suspicions about this. I think we all did, but I got confirmation. Keith Lee, the original plan for Keith Lee was to win the United States Championship and for Riddle to eat the pin. So because of whatever health issue was ailing him, is currently ailing him, that is why we now have Riddle as your United States.
So you're telling me that it is Keith Lee's fault that I have to deal with this bullshit?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, what do you want the guy to do? He's, you know.
That's okay. Bobby Lashley replaced him. I got a new favorite black guy. Bobby Lashley fucked up Matt Riddle. He took that top spot for me now. Keith Lee's been replaced.
All right.
So this one I had to look at right after SmackDown because I know a lot of people are talking about it after what happened, and we'll get into it later. But it actually is official. Edge is now actually a heel going into WrestleMania. No question.
Okay.
That's going to be pretty dope. So we'll get into all of that stuff. Impact is moving to Thursday night. So if you had a free day to not watch wrestling, to take a breath, to come up for air, scratch that off because the week is full now. Absolutely, completely full.
Well, because rumors are that NXT will on the 12th start recording on Tuesdays as well.
Yep.
So
I believe
Just after
so.
Mania.
Yeah.
Impact said, "Fuck that. We'll move to Thursdays. We'd rather compete with NXT UK than NXT."
Well, I mean, even then, it's like because they're in a different time slot. So
Yeah, it's true too.
Yeah.
now, Kane and the Great Khali are both going into the Hall of Fame this year. Much well deserved.
At least for one of them.
I expect to see Taker inducting Kane. And this one, I don't even know how to feel about this one. Peacock, now that they have WWE's content as a branch of NBC, they have just gone through the content that WWE has given them and has just censored out everything that is offensive, deemed racist, homophobic, or overly sexualized. Like, I mean, just everything. I don't know what's going on with them.
I figured you were all for this.
Why would I be?
Because now this justifies WrestleMania 6. The only bad part of WrestleMania 6 no longer exists, and you put it in your bracket over WrestleMania 13 and WrestleMania 15 on the latest episode of Young Kings Wrestling WrestleMania bracket. So now we know for a fact that Vince McMahon saying the N-word and Roddy Piper's half blackface are the two things that have been mentioned that have been removed. Those are the only two things I've seen. So here's my thing. If that is the kind of content that they are going to take off the network, I'm perfectly okay with it. If it is, a white guy using racial slurs or doing blackface, something that offensive that we really don't need, I'm okay with it. It's not like Roddy Piper versus Bad News Brown was like one of the greatest matches ever that we lost something special with that. So I'm okay with that. My worry is they said that they're going to censor anything that goes against their community standards and guidelines. So that leads me to believe what else might get censored. And that's where I worry. So I'm cool with them doing stuff like this, finding content like this. I will not be okay with losing my live sex celebration, my Katie Vick, bra and panties matches, because that's the only place I've got them anymore. Like, how am I going to relive my childhood?
Don't forget the marriage of Billy and Chuck.
The marriage of, well, I feel like with Peacock, I feel like that's within their community guidelines now. I think they'll be all right.
That's subtle. Okay.
I actually just watched back the Katie Vick thing because I'm on my 2002 watch. That's the worst part, honestly, about that whole thing is I forgot that wasn't like a one-time thing. Like the following Raw, Triple H shows up with this same mannequin and has an interview with it in the middle of the ring.
So I don't want to lose Snitsky punting Lita's baby after the miscarriage angle. I don't.
Oh yeah, dude, that's another one.
Like there's stuff on there that I feel like could be borderline considered offensive that I don't want to see them cut, as long as it's not, like I said, something along the lines of Vince using the N-word, anything like racially charged that we just don't need to have there. Though don't take down Booker T saying what he said to Hulk Hogan, because Booker T's coming for Hulk Hogan, and I need that to stay in there. Do not remove that.
Listen,
I will be upset.
Listen, I said this in the chat. Y'all ever seen the movie Private Parts, the Howard Stern biopic? Remember when he went to NBC and they shut all of that shit he tried to do down. So I can only imagine that miscarriage angle is going to be out. That live sex celebration probably going to be out. Like this might get really bad.
That's what I'm worried about. So I would not be okay with that.
Yeah. So last thing, we all have heard of or seen the show Ms. and Mrs. It's a pretty dope show on USA. I'm guessing Cody Rhodes and his wife Randy were inspired, so they are making their own show with, I guess, the same concept that's going to be coming onto TNT, I guess.
If WWE can do it, TNT's like, fuck it, we'll do it too. You're probably going to get an AEW heels to be like Total Divas.
Oh, God.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I watched Total Divas. I watched Ms. and Mrs.
Yep,
watched Total Bellas. I watch all that shit with the wife.
Yep.
It's bad TV, but it's fun TV. It's also one of the few times like you get to see the Bellas and shit and thongs at the beach. Natalia doing shit. Like you do get that content on there. So if you're missing that on your TV weekly, go check that out. I enjoy that shit. And I also I think Cody will be interesting. I'm really curious as to see like John Cena when he was on the show.
Oh God,
that was not the same John Cena you saw on TV. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to see what Cody Rhodes is like, not on TV. Like, what is at home Cody Rhodes like? What, or at least what is he going to try and portray on screen? And also, bad wrestler or not, I absolutely love Brandy. She is fine as fuck. So give me as much Brandy content as you want.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, they mentioned in the trailer about like her trying to like live up to the Rhodes like family name, like, and they brought up some like reminiscent of like the legacy of the Rhodes name. So it looks like they're going to be touching base on a little bit of that, which is kind of cool. And then we get to see Cody's mom, who never really gets like her praise. So shout out to her.
Yeah.
So
I'm for it. I'm interested. Was there anything else in news and rumors?
I think that's about it.
I do got one question for you guys. So, like, who's gonna induct Great Khali?
If I know, man.
I think they're gonna. If I saw this correctly, and I could be wrong, I think I saw that his old manager was coming back. Might be coming back because I believe he is the one that let Khali know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he may be coming back, and he might do the induction. But
okay,
yeah, we'll see.
Oh, so I saw something else, but this is take it with all the grains of salt because it also circled through David. So you know how I feel about this, and I'm sure we all are on the same page about that. So Tessa Blanchard's husband, Daga, I know his whole contract run up with Impact, so there's talk about him potentially going to AEW. But again, it's David, so take it for what you will. Sometimes he'd be right, sometimes, most of the time, he's just full of shit. But
I might be the only person who has no idea who you just talked. I know Tessa, but I have no idea who her husband is at all.
Need to know basis. I need to know.
Hey, listen.
We got listeners, and I'm sure there are listeners that watch Impact and know exactly who that is.
Oh yeah.
I do not have any idea who Tessa Blanchard's husband is. I've never heard the name Daga before in my life, and normally I'm kind of like at least generally aware of people. So that tells you that she is, even with her racist comments and shit, clearly far more talented than her husband is.
I've heard of Daga. I haven't actually taken the time to watch because TC is the resident Impact watcher. That goes beyond the limits of what I can do. I'm already consuming so much as it is.
Yep.
Impact has some work to do to get me looking.
I'm with you with that, man. I'm with you with that.
And that's the beautiful thing about what we're doing right now, because this is really, I mean, minus the fact that my co-host is slacking hardcore right now, a mega podcast. This is the first time Young Kings Wrestling representatives and Get Yo podcast representatives have been together with Smackin' It Raw podcast representatives on a podcast. This is basically a super show.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is great, man. Like when I heard that Reek was going to also be on here, I'm not going to lie. I was like, well, I hope Matt doesn't mind that I come on because this is cool. Like I think I got put onto you by shout out to the Dirty Hills. Like, I think you guys were like on some Twitter thing and I saw you guys were on there. And then I saw that you guys were also following Smackin' It Raw, and Matt. So I was like, okay, I gotta check these out, And so yeah, I've been listening, ever since. Not a day one listener, kind of a new listener, but I'm listening. So
Cool, bro.
All I heard was I got you guys one listener.
That's what
I heard.
Hey, man, that's the goal. We get whatever we can take, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was like, you think I'd have that queued up, but I actually had to like go back 3 seconds and then hope I played it at the right time, and I did. So I'm kind of proud of myself.
Man, it's all good. It's all gravy.
Since we're gonna save Monday Night Raw for whenever Vince shows up, Justin, where do you want to start? NXT, SmackDown, or AEW?
Man, let's start with NXT, man. Let's start with NXT.
We agreed early on before we started the show that what I'll do is I'll do a quick rundown of every match and segment. And then after I go through the whole card real quick, I'm going to ask Justin and Reek, what did they swallow from this episode? And we'll talk about the stuff that they liked. And then we'll go into what they spit on this episode. And we'll talk about the shit that they didn't like. And if they didn't feel good or bad about it, we're just not going to talk about it because who the fuck cares? If it doesn't make you feel something, why talk about it? So
right.
That's going to be the format for this episode going forward. We're going to see how you guys like it. And if you guys like it and the listeners like it and I get good feedback, then we'll keep doing it. If you guys say this sucks, I want to hear Matt talk more, then we'll go back to me talking to you for 2 hours. Whatever you want. That's what I'm here for. So we kicked it off. Zoe Stark and Io lose to Giant Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. We got the Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly segment, a Devlin promo, LA Knight losing to Bronson Reed, Karrion Kross defeating Oney Lorcan, and the Finn Balor post-match promo, Kushida's promo to Devlin before their match. The Gauntlet Eliminator for the North American Championship #1 contendership was announced. Walter defeated Drake Maverick, and then the Ciampa segment afterwards. Pete Dunne stakes his claim in the Battle Royal. Ember and Shotzi defeat the Robert Stone brand. Cameron Grimes wants to buy the rights to Undisputed Era, and I thought Roddy wanted a friend, but apparently he didn't. The Way let Ember and Shotzi know that they want a title shot, and when Devlin ends up defeating Kushida, and then we got the run-in from Legado afterwards, and then we finish off with the Cole and O'Reilly face-to-face. Justin, what are you swallowing from NXT this week?
Yo, I'm swallowing most of the show, especially when you got Shotzi up on there, right? Then you had basically the teaser of Stand and Delivered, right? It's like it makes you get more hype, man. For real, like I'm looking forward to Stand and Deliver more than Mania, So I'm really hyped. I mean, the Kyle O'Reilly thing, I know we joked about it on our show. Like, Kyle O'Reilly's acting like Edward Cullen from Twilight, like, where's my friend at? Where's my friend? Like, but the build up to it where he's coming to him in the jiu-jitsu gym and their little back and forth. I mean, Adam Cole's intensity on the promos, man. You just want to hit this dude, So I'm swallowing everything. I like everything about NXT.
All right, so you're swallowing everything. You're not going to spit anything on NXT.
I can't. There's too much to swallow.
What about you, Reek? Are you swallowing the whole show?
I think so, honestly. Like there's not much because I mean on a regular basis NXT is always delivering. So, I mean this week, I mean it's like Justin hit it on the head. Like they're building a lot of excitement that's on par or maybe even surpassing Mania for these 2 nights of Takeover. I mean, this card, both of them are looking stacked. It's crazy right now.
This is not how I planned for this to go at all. You guys are fucking me up big time. So, all right. Do you guys want to get into or talk any more in depth about the tag team match, Zoe Stark and Io versus Giant Gonzalez and Dakota Kai? I know TC is huge on Zoe Stark because she's from Vegas and he's in Vegas and Vegas. So, Chicago gets no love on your podcast.
Oh,
as far as I know, that is not intentional.
Anyway, you guys want to talk more about that or that push or?
I had one thing. Absolutely win because I presume it to be an inevitability. When Miss Pardon My Back beats Io Shirai for the women's championship, I would imagine Io Shirai is probably going to go up to the main roster. Oh, look who it is.
Oh, damn.
Welcome.
Look at this man. Look at this spot right now, man.
This man
What's up?
flew
like-
in from Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daddy Delgado is in the building about half an hour late.
Daddy's
I'm going to assume that this half an hour is held over from last week's dick appointment where you missed the last half hour of the show and had to leave. You were finishing up a week later, and that's why you were half an hour late. We're gonna go with that.
Matt knows me so well. That's how great of a co-host he is. He already knows. He's just one step ahead. He's one step ahead.
Hey, man. It's crazy, man. I was Vince, man. What's up, dude, man?
Not
The new
much,
crib
man.
looks great. You know, I was like praying to Santa Nino, like if you come here, and by the looks of it, bro, like it really is like from heaven, homie. Santa Clara gave me my wishes.
Yeah, it's pretty bright over here. I mean, the lighting's pretty nice. So I kind of tested it out earlier, and I like what we got going on so far over here.
Oh, no.
So basically, we did a rundown of how we're going to do this show, and we're going to see what the feedback we get is. So I ran down all of NXT because Reek wanted to make sure we saved Monday Night Raw for when you were here. I ran down the entire card. I asked Justin and Reek what they were swallowing, and they basically said the whole show. So we're just going to go back and hit every little segment and see, you know, what input they have. But the plan is to run down the show. I'll ask you guys what you're swallowing from the show, what you're spitting. If you're swallowing something, we'll talk about it. If, you know, if Justin didn't mention something that you wanted to swallow, you got something, we'll get to you. We'll add it. We'll go through all the swallows, and then we'll go through the spits. You disagree, you can spit what Justin's swallowing. You guys can snowball however you want to do it. And then anything that we don't cover just didn't elicit an emotion, so we just don't care about it.
Sounds good.
All right, so Reek was just talking about Zoe Stark, Io Shirai, Giant Gonzalez, and Dakota Kai in their opening tag match.
Yeah.
So rudely interrupted to announce that Daddy's home, even though you didn't say it.
I did say it.
Say it
Didn't
again.
hear it?
Say it again.
Daddy's home.
That's better.
Daddy's home.
He had to say it low, you know, serenade y'all.
Daddy's home, man. Daddy's home. Don't worry.
Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, when Miss Pardon My Back beats Io Shirai for the title, I would imagine Io Shirai is probably gonna go up to the main roster because she doesn't have nothing else to do at NXT. But when that happens, I need to see her and Zoe Stark do some one-on-ones because there's a lot there that they can work on. And like that just with those little segments they had in the match there, that was looking really good. Like they're putting the rocket on Zoe early, and you know, once Raquel is champion, then she's gonna need a fresh new crop of challengers. That's one to put right up at the top of the list. And that her strength is terrifying. Like she was carrying these chicks with one arm, putting Io through tables and slamming Zoe with one arm. Like, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm a big fan too. I mean, obviously, fellow Mexican, so I love the representation down in NXT. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she's gonna take that title off of Io just yet.
What do you mean? If she doesn't beat Io, then what's the fucking point of doing all this? Don't get me wrong. I love Io Shirai. She needs to fucking lose because if she beats Raquel, then what the fuck are we doing? There's no one left. Literally no one left. And now you've wasted Raquel Gonzalez. You built her up, had her pin Io at War Games. You did all of this, as everyone tried to point out to me, even though I didn't give two fucks what they had to say. You had to give her that win in that tournament for the Dusty Cup, so she had that accolade going into this match. Why do all that if she's gonna fucking lose? I will legit be pissed if Io Shirai walks out champion.
Oh, Matt is genuinely very passionate about this subject.
But it's true. It's true because you don't want another Asuka situation on your hands.
Yeah.
Asuka was built to be undefeated for as long as she was. Io didn't come in with that same cachet that she did, but she just kept improving her game to the point where it's like, okay, she can have a long reign and nobody's going to complain. And we're not. But like he said, War Games, she basically carried Dakota through the Dusty Cup. Like this has been her year going all the way back for the past several months. If you're going to do this, she has to have it. And you waited until WrestleMania weekend to do it. She's going to win the title. And it's main eventing.
Yeah, I think the only way it doesn't happen is if they do a screwy finish or with Dakota Kai in the
Yep.
picture. Then they circle back to the title for Gonzalez down the line. I think that's the only way you can maybe feasibly get yourself out of that situation. Not
Don't
put
do
the
that.
title on
Don't fucking do
Gonzalez.
that. Do not do that. Here's the thing.
Look how he's crunching his fist. He's so mad.
As we said, don't get me wrong. I love Asuka's run, and it was historic. Asuka handicapped Ember Moon.
Yes.
Ember Moon should have been the one to beat.
Yep. I was just gonna say that.
That would have put that would have put Ember Moon on the map and given her a lot more momentum in her run on the main roster. By not letting her beat Asuka and having Asuka retire undefeated and move up, it made Ember not look worthy enough of getting that.
But do you remember how that happened? Asuka got injured and was called up like soon thereafter after she relinquished the title. So it was the injury that took away that opportunity from Ember Moon. They were building up for that eventual win.
I believe Asuka was going up regardless. Yeah. And they just did it while she was injured because she was injured. And they're like, well, we got to fucking do it. So I don't think
I think
let Ember beat her.
Yeah, no. Ember was being groomed to beat her for sure.
Yeah, and Raquel's being groomed to beat Io. So let's fucking do it and not risk an injury and fuck this up.
Right. Grooming that back.
Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me, Vince. I appreciate it. All right, we got to move on from this. You guys want to talk about Roddy basically goes to Kyle and he's like, hey, like, we're still friends, right? Let's go beat up Adam together. And fucking Kyle's like, listen, there is no us. This is me and Adam shit. So get the fuck on. And poor Roddy looked all dejected and hurt. Like, he just wanted a friend. He just wanted to be part of the group. And Kyle's like, no, this is an AB conversation. See the fuck out of here.
Oh, for real, man. I felt bad for Roddy.
Push them shit to the side. Put him to the side, man.
Listen, Roddy's smart because he knows once they completely unhitch from him, it's over for him. Him and Bobby, y'all, we all watch Fresh Prince here. You remember the episode when he walked in the house and it was empty? That's Bobby already. It's about to be Roddy too. So, I mean, he got to do something at this point.
Oh, man.
It's over.
Well, I mean, I have Roddy's chances are a little bit higher than Bobby Fish. I don't know what the fuck Bobby Fish is going to do without Undisputed Era.
They could go back and do Red Dragon again. They could go back and do Red Dragon.
I don't think they will.
Now, later on in the night, my man, Cameron Grimes, rolled up to Roddy, trying to be that friend, trying to be that guy that he needed, that he wanted. He's like, I see you're hurting, man. I got some money. We'll buy Undisputed Era. We'll rebrand it. We'll do this together. I got you. And Roddy just punched him in the face and walked out. And that was rude and hurtful and unnecessary. Like, all your friends left you. This one nice person came up and put his hand out. You just slapped him in the face. What the fuck, Roddy?
It was stupid. Was what it was. Because Grimes is say what you want to say about him, dude. Grimes is over with this new gimmick. With this new gimmick, he's over and he's getting money. Why would you think about it for a second, bro? Come on.
You know what? It's in the heat of the moment. He was upset about it. He wasn't thinking rationally. I'm pretty sure he's gonna wake up tomorrow and he's gonna like, God damn, I should have taken that opportunity right there. I should have taken up Cameron Grimes on that offer.
I mean, he's still loyal. Bobby's still loyal to the friendship, to the camaraderie, to the brotherhood. He doesn't want to let it go.
So
he doesn't want to let it go.
It's foreshadowing.
He's crying.
So here's what I see happening. When Travis and I get into a fight and the Smackin' Raw podcast breaks up, Vince is going to be Cameron Grimes and he's going to go to Travis and be like, Travis, we can rebrand Smackin' Raw. We can make this work. And Travis is going to punch poor Vince in the face, metaphorically, and shun him out of pain. And we're not going to get that beautiful thing that could be a Travis Vince podcast.
The dynamic would be very interesting, by the way.
It's not even going to get that far because the second Vince tries to reach out and have a conversation, Travis is going to mute the whole thing. So it's not even going to get that far.
We also had the Devlin and we had the Kushida promos talking about each other, talking about Santos, which led to Devlin defeating Kushida. Legado tries to stop Devlin, but ends up costing Kushida the match, who then goes and just beats the shit out of Raul Mendoza and the other guy whose name is slipping me at the moment.
Joaquin Wilde.
Yeah, Joaquin Wilde.
Joaquin Wilde, yeah.
This leads to a stare down between Escobar, the other Santos, not the one we got on here, and Devlin, and then wonky ass, old ass HBK, who it just hurts me every time I got to see this motherfucker on my screen, because every time he walks out, he looks poorer and poorer, and I feel bad for him. You know, he's got the loose mom jeans on, his hair's all unkempt.
Yeah.
One eye's looking at his wrist, one eye's looking at the ring.
Oh man.
He grabs a ladder. I'm surprised he even saw it. Slides in the ring and basically says, "Hey, remember that one time at WrestleMania 10, which you guys can hear about on Young Kings Wrestling's latest WrestleMania bracket, because that was actually a decent pick, unlike WrestleMania 6. Or the fact that WrestleMania 25 got left off. Anyway, neither here nor there. Remember, I did that ladder match that one time for the IC titles. Why don't you guys do that? Do the same thing, but without actually saying anything." So I guess, I mean, I felt like this match needed it. Like, this match needed, like, you have that history. They're two cruiserweights. These guys are going to tear it down. This needed to be a ladder match from the get-go anyway.
I don't think it needed it, but I love that they added it. To me personally, and also the visual of being able to bring down both straps from wherever the title's going to be suspended, like, perfect. They'll be like, Santos those straps, or like Devlin those straps. You know, there you go.
Santos those straps is what Justin does for side money. That is a completely different thing from what we were talking about, Vince. And I thought we talked about not bringing that up on the podcast. Like, we weren't.
I'm sorry. You know what?
Listen, no, bring it up, man. Bring it up. My business needs to come back up, yo. My business needs to come back up. It was going down like how I usually go down, so now I need to go back up. Up.
You can find that at Get Your Dose Straps on OnlyFans. OnlyFans /
That's
Get
right.
Your Dose Straps.
Oh wow.
There you go.
For an extra $1, Charlie will be there too. For an extra $1, Charlie will be there too.
He won't
Shout out
do
to my
anything.
boy
He'll
Charlie.
just be in the frame. He'll
just be in the frame, just like that.
I do feel bad for HBK when I see him, but it is also nice having him give that, stamp of approval on this. Hey, you guys go do what we did. It is also still WrestleMania weekend. It is NXT, but it is still Mania weekend, so it's almost like NXT's Mania. So
is it technically in the weekend since it's going to be midweek?
And then I'm off that entire week. I am off from Good Friday through WrestleMania. That is one 10-day weekend for me, Vince. That's what it is. It is my WrestleMania weekend.
It pretty much is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm going on wrestling spring break.
There
you go.
Titties out all week.
Hey, I was about to ask her. The titties coming now. You beat me right to it.
What you got, Reek?
Yeah, I like this. I would have, if I was, looking at it to book, I would have gone with the tag team title match. I predicted that these three teams would be in the match, but I thought it was going to be a ladder match. But if we're not doing that, this makes the most sense to have it for the Cruiserweight title. And honestly, I think it'll probably steal the show when I think they're on night 1 or night 2.
I think they're on night 1.
Yeah.
They're on one of the nights. They're on one of them.
They're on LA nights. LA nights.
I hate that name.
Let's talk about it, because do you guys want to talk about LA Knight taking his loss to Bronson Reed after his big debut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it, then. Go for it.
Nah, man. Is this just a waste of time? Why make this whole commotion about LA Knight just to lose to Bronson Reed, man?
Well, I think
nothing against Bronson Reed, but all this hype, all this commotion from Bronson Reed loss.
I feel
to be fair, I look at him kind of like the Miz, where I feel like he's supposed to be a lot more talk and a lot less action. Like, he's going to be one of those heels that talks a big game but doesn't back it up. He's probably going to take a lot of L's. That's what the L in LA Knight's going to stand for, is all those losses he's going to take. But he's not going to stop talking shit while he does it. He's going to get himself over through his promos, and he's probably going to be that guy that takes a lot of L's in the process.
I think. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that too, because I'm like, it's the talk about him is that he's better in promos than he is in wrestling, and it's like, okay, he talks a big game, but I think in this match he kind of showed that he's pretty damn decent, and he might even get better. So it's kind of a win-win. Like, he can take a bunch of L's and look good, or he can eventually flip the script a little bit. But as long as you got good promos to match up, it's a full package. So screw it. I don't fuck with the name. I see him and I hear Eli Drake. I can't do
100.
LA Knight. It's not happening for me.
Or at least why didn't they let him do like Eli Knight or something? You know, like
Okay.
Well, LA Knight sounds like Eli Knight. I think that was the point.
No, stop. Oh,
LA Knight, Eli Knight. They sound similar.
But what kind of first name is LA? Like
It's initials.
it's true. Like AJ, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ, but you know, we kind of all know what it stands for. Like Alan and AJ just sounds like an actual name. Like nobody names their child LA. Like nobody.
I do have a little bit of news for you guys. I from a very good source over on Pornhub, I was told that LA Knight stands for licking ass night.
Well,
the way he delivered it too, with all the seriousness in the world. You're really trying to sell us on that. You're really trying to sell us on that.
We got Cross defeating Oni Lorcan. Okay, fine. What's important is Finn Balor comes out and starts talking about demons, about his demons and overcoming his demons. And that tells me that we are looking at seeing the demon, which I have been saying 4 weeks needs to happen. And my co-host, who is coming to us live from heaven right now, has been fighting me on. Now I see, because you are in heaven, why you have an issue with the demon, Finn Balor. He is your mortal enemy as an angel. I get it.
I'm no angel.
But you know what? I've been you know, like, I've been understanding with people that say they don't need to bring the demon out. I get that. But you got to think about two things. Number one, the last time we saw the demon was the WrestleMania with fans. That was almost 2 years ago. It doesn't come out much. And his thing in TakeOver was he would always bring it out, right? But the second thing is that this is about Karrion Kross, because he's obviously going to go over. That's the plan here. If you want to make a statement on the second night of TakeOver, you have Karrion Kross, who still hasn't taken a loss yet, defeat the demon for the NXT championship. He becomes that much bigger of a star on NXT, that much bigger of a heel because he beat the demon. You can't lose.
That sounds really familiar.
So Rick just likes to copy your ideas after he listens to the show.
Oh, no. You are not going to insult the Nature Boy Rick Flair like that.
Ask Katie. I said it in the chat 2 days ago when she was doing the NXT recap.
Well, technically, I said it last week. So
copy.
But that's neither here nor there. What just happened here was what they call great minds. Great minds think alike, Vince.
I love the idea. Trust me, I do. I just don't think you throw the demon out there on the first match. I think you get him the regular Finn against Karrion Kross. Kross beats Balor. Balor wants to get his rematch, takes it to the next level, and still loses. That puts him over. Not only was he able to put down like the regular Finn Balor that's been running roughshod through NXT right now, who's probably the best version of like regular man Balor there's ever been. And then you have him beat the demon later on. I think you build up to the demon. You can't just go ahead and do it. If they bust out the demon, I'm more inclined to believe Finn Balor retains the title. That's just the way I see it.
And that's what they want you to think. If they bust out the demon, they want you to believe Finn is going over. So when Kross goes over, holy shit. And
if it happens, that'd be freaking dope.
Finn Balor versus Walter. Do not delay that either by going to a second takeover. Let Walter fight Ciampa. Let Finn lose to Karrion.
I don't think that's
Finn
done,
versus
though.
Walter, because that was the plan before COVID. That's where we were going. That's what we were going to get, was Finn Balor versus Walter. And I had never been more excited for a Finn Balor match since he had left NXT than I was for Finn Balor Walter. And COVID just fucked us.
No lube, too.
No lube. Stole that from me.
Eyes open.
Hurt my soul to see that.
It did. You guys got it? Justin, you got anything to add?
Well, hold on. So so they are going to be night 2, right?
I believe so, yes.
Main event night 2.
that makes sense for all the other matches to be night one because them motherfucking entrances is gonna be like 10 minutes long.
I do have to say,
For Scarlett Bordeaux to be doing her little poetry slam rhyme coming to the ring, and then Finn Balor doing the. I mean, I just hope they have enough, pyro smoke for that arena for those two matches, man.
I really hope they let Gonzalez and EO do night one's main event and Balor and Cross do night twos. And
No, I think they confirmed that.
Is that confirmed? Okay.
Yeah, it's confirmed that EO versus Gonzalez are going to be the main event for night one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so unlike main roster, they're confirming their fucking main events from the jump.
Yeah,
I think we have ours now. I'm pretty sure after tonight.
Gauntlet Eliminator.
Yep.
How do you guys feel about it?
I was confused at first. I still don't fully understand it.
So I was too, because I thought they said it was going to be like a 10-man battle royal, and then they said it was a Gauntlet Eliminator, and then Pete Dunne said he was going to do his thing in the battle royal, but he's in the Eliminator, and So what I know is there is a 10-man gauntlet match that is going to take place, and the winner of that match will face the North American champion. And Johnny Gargano was not happy about it and came up with about 40 scenarios to get his ass out of this and how we should be doing this. And William Regal was not having it, which is why I love me some William Regal.
Oh yeah. Now, so it is confusing, but I think I got it's 12 guys, and once they narrow it down to the last to 6, so half of them are going to go, and the last 6 that are there are going to be in a gauntlet match, and whoever wins the gauntlet match goes to face Johnny.
That's so
Gotcha.
So no,
It is. It's fucked up.
Like a 3 stages of hell type of thing.
So you almost got it. If I'm not mistaken, I think what it's going to be next week is going to be the 12-man battle royal, and once it comes down to the last 6. Those 6 are going to eliminate each other to determine the order entry in the gauntlet match, which is going to be gauntlet eliminator, which is going to be on night 1. Then the winner of that goes to night 2 against Johnny. So next week we're going to have the battle royal, and then like the final 6 are going to be in the gauntlet eliminator, and then the order in which they get eliminated determines the order in which they come into the gauntlet eliminator at Takeover night 1.
Yeah,
convoluted as all fuck.
It's like half Royal Rumble, half Elimination Chamber, all to get to a title match.
Yeah, basically. Why did you make that shit hard like that? Like, just have it a gauntlet match or Royal Rumble. But here, why is Johnny Gargano mad? Like, all these people got to kill themselves, and then he just has to face them. They'll be tired. You know what I'm saying?
Because he said chicken shit heel, Justin, and he just likes to moan and complain.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that. I forgot.
It's playing up. It's playing up to his character perfectly because only he could claim that he has a disadvantage when the person that wins has to go through all of that shit. Just to go and face him the next night, but he's at a disadvantage.
Yo, Regal calling him out was like, "Why are you wearing your title?" It was like, "Do you wear it everywhere?" I'm like, "Yes, of course I wear it everywhere. I'm the champion." I fucking love Johnny, man. He's so extra.
From a chicken shit heel to a dominant heel, we have Walter defeating Drake Maverick. I don't think anyone thought this was going to go any other way than it went. None of that matters, though, because after that match, Ciampa comes down and says, you know what? I misspoke. I said I wanted you, but it's not really you I want. It's that title that I'm interested in. He lays down the challenge. It looks kind of like Walter declined at first, but then they lay a 3-man beatdown and the match got confirmed. They ripped the dog tags off Tommaso Ciampa's neck, and I have never seen someone so upset to have their chain taken. And we know that is a disrespectful thing. You don't steal a man's chain.
I mean, he is from Milwaukee. That's the suburban Chicago. So I'm assuming the rules kind of apply with the whole chain snatching thing.
That man cried, he fought, he struggled, and got beat down.
I think that's like that was like really something from his daughter or something like that.
I think so.
The dog tags? The dog tags?
Whatever it is around his neck. I heard like that's something like that his daughter made or something like that. So it was really, that was a good way to draw some heat.
Yeah.
Them chops though.
Yeah,
them chops.
Dude.
I saw they posted a video of him doing it in slow motion, and it literally sounds like a gunshot.
Oh yeah.
That is just frightening. And I expected him to just, the size difference between him and Drake. I expected him to chop Drake in the forehead and turn him into a literal matchstick. I wanted to see that.
I feel like we talk about CT now, years from now, we're going to talk about Kofi chest syndrome. And this is slaps from Walter is how we're going to get Kofi chest syndrome. That's how it's created. Those Walter chaps.
Yep, I'm with you.
Jesus.
Ember Moon and Shotzi defeat the Robert Stone brand, but it's not just the Robert Stone brand. Jessie Kamehameha is unable to compete. They convince Mercedes Martinez to take that spot. She takes their money, says this is just half. I want the rest after the match. Aaliyah's all excited that she's got a partner. Robert's like, I'm fucking broke. That was all I had. I can't pay her the rest. Didn't have to. Lost the match. Post-match, The Way says, if you guys really want some competition, come to us. The Fire Pit, which is what Ember and Shotzi are calling themselves.
Like that.
Love it.
Lay down that they will fight them anywhere at any time. And Candace says, all right, well, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this on our time, on our stage. How have they, in 3 weeks, made the NXT Women's Tag Team titles leagues more important than the main roster tag team titles that have been around for 2 years now?
They put some effort into it.
Effort.
The effort. They had established teams already before the titles came out. So, but the one thing I gotta say before you guys go into the talking about this is that I'm glad that the Aaliyah Robert Stone brand matches are done, because I've been looking for a resolution the whole time.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
See, that's why I love you guys, because I will subtly drop Aaliyah song quotes here or there, and I feel like it just flies over people's heads sometimes.
Well, sometimes they just have to dust her off and try again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I got you.
You know, sometimes you just can't always go back, forth and forth.
It's not. I tell you, it's not working with Aaliyah. I don't.
Has it ever worked with Aaliyah?
I feel bad for Robert Stone, because like it really could work for that guy if only he had somebody like he hasn't been the same since Chelsea Green. Right, I was gonna say that ever since she left his ass.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, I want to see Mercedes Martinez like get her shine now again. Since EO's gonna be moving on, I would expect after this. I want to see her get into that title picture. Like, she's in her 40s now. She don't have that much time to be wasting in bullshit like this.
100.
How often are you guys on Facebook?
Never.
Okay. If you guys notice that there is like a video section on Facebook, you can click it and they just play random videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you scrolled through there and seen that they have full length, well, not full length, they have edited pornos in the Facebook videos where they just take out all the sex? It's all just like the other scenes besides the porno, and then like right when it's about to get to the sex, they just switch to another scene and they cut the shit off.
So in other words, all the bad acting in pornos.
Yes. It's just compilations of like a porn movie, but it's just like the scenes in the movie minus the sex.
Right.
That's what the Robert Stone brand and Chelsea Green vignettes were. And I miss them so very, very much.
Those are basically like Charm episodes.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I missed them so very, very much.
They were funny though. I'm not gonna lie. That was a lot of material for us. But yeah, they were funny. Yeah.
I think they did a disservice to not only Chelsea Green but to Robert Stone by splitting them up, because they haven't really done anything with Chelsea Green. Granted, I know she's been injured, but I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of stuff left on the table with that pairing.
Yep.
Keep an eye on the post Mania shows, because she is cleared officially. They saw her backstage last Friday on SmackDown, and somebody else too. I forget who. Santana Garrett. But
yeah.
So post Mania shows, we might see her.
I mean, but like I think they both need a refresher in that women's division.
Oh yeah, easily.
Last but not least, Cole and O'Reilly face to face. Cole was blind, but now he sees. Undisputed Era held him back. Kyle O'Reilly is a lapdog. All his success is due to Cole. Adam is the undisputed era, and Kyle O'Reilly fires back with the, well, I'm a better person than you.
Well,
Uh,
all right.
okay.
That was the face-to-face. Is Kyle O'Reilly's like, I am the undisputed era. You guys were holding me back. I didn't know it then, but I know it now. And Adam Cole's like, yeah, that's great. But at the end of the day, I'm a better person.
Yeah.
You're not a better dresser than Adam Cole, but you
Hell
are
no.
a better person. Congratulations.
Kyle O'Reilly reminds me when that promo started, like he just might remind me of like them Christian kids, you know, like them church kids trying to look tough. And they're like, you know what? I'm still a better person than you. You know, nothing wrong with like the church kids. I'm a church kid myself, but like, you know what I mean? You know, they be trying to push too hard.
Yeah.
It's like, calm down, you know?
I was with him until he said, I'm a better person. Like, you were a better
you
person
try to
after...
you try to hit him with your car last week. How are you a better person?
But I'm saying,
Thank you.
Like, so you're a better person just in the last couple of months. So you mean Finn Balor beat your ass into kindness? Is that what you're telling me?
You beat your ass so hard, you decided to be nice.
Like,
I also feel like you guys were really excited for this until I laid it out like that. And after I did that, you guys were like, well, shit. When you put it like that.
No, Ashley, I think
I saw it on Reek's face. Like I saw Reek's disappointment as I finished, like, man, I really fuck.
Beat into kindness.
he beat him into kindness. No, honestly, like I was gonna come into the podcast and actually talk about like I don't know if I'm feeling babyface Kyle O'Reilly. I was feeling him during like the Finn Balor stuff, but in this promo, like this whole feud with Adam Cole, he just kind of sounds lame.
You don't like the jean vest and there's something about Larry haircut?
Nelson, dude, looking like he just came from a Good Charlotte concert.
right? No, seriously,
for real, right?
Yeah.
He's just missing the patches and shit, you know. Like he just came
like
from Blink 182. You know, listen to Blink 182.
He looks like a teenager.
Yes,
I'm not with that. The jizz gel in his hair, like.
Yes, dude. Yes, you said it. Yep. You got the gag Zeus. Look him up.
Yeah, I'm not with that. Now I will say this. This is absolutely the route they needed to go. As soon as I saw that whole thing with them, like him trying to run him over, I'm like, they got to make it an unsanctioned match. So that's absolutely the route to go. And it's gonna be hard to grade matches on in any of these takeovers because this shit is gonna be so crazy. But yeah, I think honestly, I do believe that Adam Cole is going to turn Kyle into a star. Whether or not he can maintain the star is a whole different ballgame. Because again, the way we're starting it, I don't know. But you know, Cole is going to do everything he can, which obviously that goes to show for something.
Yeah.
Right. Look at what he did for what's his name, Pat McAfee.
Yep.
I will say this, Reek. I will not be available for night 1 WrestleMania recap, but I should be available for night 2. I will have company staying the night for night 1. So I can't just be like, hey, fuck you guys. I gotta go do a podcast. But I will be there for night 2.
That's what I do.
So you may have to get another resident co-host over there. Let Mr. Fontaine know if he doesn't hear this episode by then. I am looking forward to grading this though with the Smackin' and Raw typical eggplant emoji grades instead of the star rating. So you guys can look forward to that on Twitter at Matt Ritter. There's AdamATTRIDDER. Overall, guys, we all agree we're swallowing NXT, correct?
Yeah.
100.
Sure.
All right.
100.
Reek, where do you want to, or Justin, you picked NXT, right?
Yeah, I picked.
Reek, where do you want to go next?
Let's hit AEW.
All right. So on AEW, we saw Kenny Omega defeat Matt Sydal. John Silver prepare for his match against prepare for his match against Darby Allin. Hangman seemed not to care. Hangman defeats Cesar Bononi. Wow, I'm fucking up already. Lance Archer talking about Sting's bat. Britt Baker's interview. Christian talking to Pillman Jr. Then we got the 6-man tag Pinnacle defeating Pillman Jr. and his friends. And then Tony interview with the Pinnacle. Team Taz saying they're okay, but they clearly aren't. QT Marshall's frustrated and wants a match with Cody Rhodes, and we all care why. And then the Lucha Bros and the Laredo Kid defeat the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler. And last but not least, Darby Allin retains his title against John Silver. Justin, what are you swallowing from AEW, if anything?
None of this. Well, okay. There's only I mean, one match I will swallow is the El Dorado and Phoenix and Pentagon match with the Trump Bucks. Those people, I will swallow that match. But as far as everything else, nah, this is a straight up a spit for me.
All right, so you are swallowing Lucha Bros and the Laredo Kid, defeating the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler, who didn't need to be there. Omega attacks the Laredo Kid afterwards, and then Kenny cuts a promo, and he's like, I chose you guys. I could have gone basically to WWE, but I didn't. I chose you guys. I didn't choose AEW. Now you have your chance. Pick me back. Again, another, I just want friends. And he goes and puts up the Too Sweet, and they turn their back on him, and they leave. And then he gets fucked up by the Lucha Bros and the Laredo Kid. And the Good Brothers, who were supposed to be his friends, were jerking each other off or taking a shit or doing something. Took fucking forever to get down there and make the save. Left their man bloody. This is the champion you were supposed to be protecting. You just let him get fucked up.
They came out so late too. I mean, like
So
damn
late.
near, like it was like basically the show was over. And then and did you see the way they ran?
They
Like,
took
it looked
longer
like-
than QT Marshall last week.
They call him Machine Gun Carl Anderson for a reason. He had to fire off that load. Like,
Oh wow,
they had to finish.
into Luke Gallows' mouth.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, I thought he had a hot Asian wife for that. I guess he's going both ways now.
Yeah, there was no happy ending last night.
Nope.
Oh man.
Rico,
And why does AEW always have to end like that? Like a huge ass brawl. You know what I'm saying?
we'll get
Like,
to that was a different match. So
oh, okay.
hold on. Reek, you got anything else from the show you want to swallow?
So I got first half. I would swallow first half of it. Yeah. Second half, spit it, cause yeah, like that got sour to it. Cause the Matt Sydal Kenny Omega match, didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. That was very fucking good. The Britt Baker promo was absolutely fire because, you know, as we done talked about already, she is the star in the women's division on AEW. There's not a question or debate about it. That whole QT Marshall and Cody promo, I wasn't feeling it, but I feel like that it's planting the seeds of Cody saying, you know what, he's gonna turn around and just beat the shit out of QT Marshall. I'm not saying it will happen, but I feel like
he'd be doing the Lord's work in that case.
Oh wow!
Yeah, of course. But it's like he's playing it cool, like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you or this, that, and the third. But I feel like he's gonna beat the shit out of him in that.
So here's my thing. I'm actually spitting that segment because this man is out here talking about. Everyone says that I'm only here because of Cody Rhodes' friend. I'm like, dude, you've done nothing but been on Dark.
Yeah,
Like if you're on, you have been Dustin Rhodes' bitch and been on Dark. What great achievements are you getting for being Cody Rhodes' friend that people are coming to you and being like, you only got that because you're Cody Rhodes' friend? Like, you got nothing at all.
100. Yep.
Yeah.
So like, I was not feeling that whatsoever. So Reek is swallowing it. I am spitting it. I will say I do swallow that Britt Baker interview. Her going in on Mick Foley taking 20 years to be a hardcore legend. She's like, I was a hardcore legend after one night. How she's the face of the company, telling all the fans and everyone, I don't need your praise. I always knew I was this good. I don't need any of you kissing my ass. I absolutely love that as well. Kenny Omega, Matt Sydal, like it was a good match. Kenny Omega's matches, for as much hype as I heard about Kenny Omega, best bout machine. Like I expect every time he gets in the ring to have my mind blown, and I am left flaccid as fuck every time.
Matt, would you call his matches mid at best?
Ooh.
Kenny Omega is my Sheamus.
Yes, I started
As far as in ring content from AEW, because I have only seen one New Japan match, and that was against Jericho, and I honestly wasn't very impressed by that match either, from what I heard.
That's Jericho's fault.
There was
Jericho's
a lot of hype going into that match, and I watched it, and I'm like, I don't feel like this is special. It's just skinny tables and a bunch of people in the crowd wearing face masks. Other than that, it's a match that I could have seen between Chris Jericho and Seth Rollins or anyone else. This is not another level like they say he is. I could have got that match out of Chris Jericho from anyone else.
Hold on, real quick. Justin, do you know about the mid at best shit?
Oh, of course. I listen to you guys'
Okay.
show.
Okay.
Of course I
Alright.
do.
All right. Because
We'll get there when we get to Raw. We'll get there. when
Yeah,
we
yeah.
get to-
Because I was like, we gotta save it for the end anyway. But yeah. All right. I just want to make sure. But
I got you. I got
you
y'all. I got y'all.
yeah. But like, you can't. People can't like. They'll tell you, this dude is this, that, and the third. I've never held Kenny Omega in that high regard, even though people would talk about him like that. I'm like, listen, the guy is great and he can go. But as far as everyone, like now they call him the wrestling god. Like, I don't know. No, I've
That's
never saw
JBL.
him like that. That is correct. That is correct. But yeah, I've never saw him that way. Like, I refuse to let people hype any of these wrestlers more than they really are. Honestly.
Right. I feel you.
I like what he's been doing storyline wise and the interpromotional stuff and the idea of him challenging the Impact shit. Like, that stuff I enjoy. His in-ring matches do not blow me away like they seem to blow Meltzer and everyone else away. And I just Vince,
No one
you-
asked for Meltzer's opinion.
True. Very true.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this too.
Oh.
I appreciate that they have, Kenny has fully embraced this heel role with absolute, emphasis. I do not appreciate them having Justin Roberts acknowledge the Wrestling Observer on my TV.
Yeah,
Because I don't give a shit about anything the Wrestling Observer says.
But technically
Not Meltzer.
that adds to his heel. Like, because you hate Meltzer, now you hate Kenny because Meltzer's praising Kenny and Justin Roberts is shoving that in your face.
I just want to see somebody skull fuck Meltzer and Alvarez at the same time until they die.
But that's a weird porn fetish there.
Justin, you're
It's
gonna
not
need
a fetish.
what's up inches for that.
Well, for
Are you
me,
are you swallowing anything else from the show, Vince?
well, I was gonna mention the 6-man tag with Lucha Bros, because obviously, but I don't want to swallow the same load as Justin. I do want to go
We can all
ahead.
swallow the
Come
same
on,
load.
Snowball. Come
We can
on,
all
man.
swallow
Come
the
on,
same
man.
load.
Come on, man.
I don't want to swallow that load right now. It's already been in Justin's mouth. I don't want any.
It's
second-
warm, man. It's warm.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No. It's warming up in Chicago. I don't need it. I will swallow that Pinnacles promo. I thought it was great, especially from FTR's part. They really delivered on their promo, and MJF is MJF, but really big shout out to FTR. Them boys can cut some promos.
After the Pinnacle defeated Pillman Jr. and Friends, and that's what I'm going to refer to them as, and Friends, because I don't give a fuck about the other two. Pillman gets tossed by Wardlow, and then Tony interviews the Pinnacle, and MJF basically, after you said the great FTR part, MJF calls out Jericho in the inner circle, and Tony's like, well, they're not here, and Wardlow gets a little intimidating to Tony. And they're like, excuse me? Back the fuck up, Tony. What are you here for? I enjoyed it too. MJF is a great promo. He is a great heel. Even when you want to like the guy, he has a way of just making you not like him. Like,
Yes.
that is very rare in the wrestling business. He is one of those heels that back in the territory days, people would have been chasing into the parking lot with knives and broken beer bottles, trying to stab. You don't get that anymore. There are not a lot of guys out there that are willing to get real heat. So
Once I saw him flip off a child at a signing, that was it for me. Like, dude is one of the best heels you could possibly imagine. Because if you got that much gumption to flip off a child, you have a natural talent for making people hate you, and that's all you can ask for.
the only other thing we haven't talked about that I want to swallow is Christian Frankie Kazarian. So I don't know if you guys remember, but Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian said that going forward, if they ever lose a match, they are going to retire. The first match they lose, they're done. Now, I'm very curious is if that's tag team only or singles, and if they're actually going to hold up that, or if they're just going to pretend like WWE does sometimes that no one ever said that it didn't happen. But Kazarian can go, and I don't think there's anyone better on that roster as far as a veteran goes for Christian to have a match with and tear it down in his first match than Frankie Kazarian. So I'm actually excited for that match to see what they can do and see what Christian can do in AEW, outside of a Royal Rumble in a regular singles match. And like I said, there's no one better than Frankie to do it with. So I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'm all for that too. You could definitely see that, like, one person has been in front of the camera their whole life, and one person has never been in a camera in front of their whole life. Because when that segment started, Christian was doing this stance so that you can see the whole body when the camera's there, and Frankie Kazarian was literally like, "So Christian, what do you want to do?" Like, dude, like you need the camera needs to see you, man. You know, like. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm kind of interested to see where this goes.
I like that you pointed that out, Justin, because that's something that I feel like a lot of the roster in AEW is lacking. Say what you will about WWE, they train you to like be on camera, and having guys like Paul White, having guys like Christian, and even guys like Sting, like say what you will about all these guys being signed, like they will teach all these other dudes that, hey, do this. This is gonna enhance the promo.
On the other hand,
yes,
they also intentionally poke fun at WWE for shit like that, where you will see WWE people standing backstage watching a screen, and they're like facing you, and they're not really looking at the screen, but there's like nobody stands in front of a TV and watches it the way WWE wrestlers stand in front of a monitor and watch a match so that you can see them. The Young Bucks will intentionally watch a match on a screen like a normal fucking person would watch a match on a screen. And I feel like it's an intentional thing. I don't think that's just a lapse. I think like they're doing that like, and I think Jericho even pointed out, like, nobody stands that way. Why would you stand that way? So
Jericho is like the biggest tryhard for the indie wrestlers, man. He be trying to act like he'd be trying to act like he's with them and shit, trying to be like, oh yeah. Like, man, shut your ass up, man. You know where you came from. Stop pretending like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're like with them, dude. You already made, man. You're trying. He's like a tryout. Stage 5 clinger, man. He's a stage 5 clinger.
Now, Justin, I know you wanted to spit that brawl at the end because AEW ends every show in a brawl. It seems like, I do think that the Darby Allin versus John Silver match was actually really good, surprisingly, with John Silver in his tiny hands.
Yeah.
But I do agree, like that brawl was unnecessary. John Silver got hurt at the end of that brawl. His shoulder's hurt. He won't need surgery, but he is going to be out for a few weeks. I'm also spitting the what was it? The Hangman Cesar Bononi. Because why the fuck is Hangman Adam Page wrestling Cesar Bononi? This man would be NXT champion, and you have him wrestling Cesar Bononi in the second match on your show doing
100.
jack shit.
100.
I just because I watched the match, and I don't know why I watched the match, because who the fuck is Cesar Bononi?
Former NXT wrestler. Nobody
was
cares.
he?
Yeah.
No. Was he?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought he was just wearing like some broke ass Rocky Mike Via ring attire.
And follow up too. Why is Hangman still hanging out with the Dark Order?
Thank you.
I'm so tired of seeing that shit. I don't know what to do. I really don't.
I'm spitting that as well. And also the Lance Archer. I'm spitting the Lance Archer promo because that promo about Sting's bat was just.
What was that?
Yeah.
Why was that?
And where was he? In an abandoned warehouse, man. Like,
was that where they had
that,
the fight?
That was the Hoodlum warehouse. So the Hoodlum warehouse where they did the Hoodlum promo, which by the way, apparently Tony Khan absolutely loved, which when I heard him on Busted Open say that, and that the bat that Sting used was a bat that was Tony Khan's bat. He gave back to Sting. He had gotten it, and now he got it back and he keeps it. And it's like, it's his favorite promo. And it's, I'm like, dude, wow. I don't know that you should be booking if that's the shit you like, because that was god awful. Cocaine's
a hell of a drug, and I know that's what he's taking, man. You seen him lately? When he be doing these interviews, hair is all fucking crazy. Y'all, we had a good night, y'all. It was great. Oh, like, dude, man, how many lines did you do before you got on camera?
He had no idea what partying with wrestlers was going to be like before he got into this position at all. And with all that money, I get. We're not going to talk about.
Okay.
AEW overall, spit or swallow.
Okay, you hold on. I do want to say I love the promos with Moxley and Kingston. I love those promos. Those are like some hip hop, Hype Williams type, belly type promos. Other than that, though, it's just not enough. Spit.
Yeah, super spit.
I'm actually.
I will say this though, since we mentioned production of the show, I forgot what a good antagonist will do for Jim Ross, because that's the liveliest I've heard him on commentary since he fucking got to AEW. When what's his face? Don got on commentary.
Yeah.
Like in the first match, I'm like, wow, JR sounds like he's actually alive on commentary. That was
Because
good.
no one ever like lights a fire under him. Like he's always worked best when he's had like a heel guy like Jerry
Yup.
Lawler.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what he needs. Sometimes you just need that person to light a fire under you. And you know what? Keep Don Callis on commentary. He's better a combination with JR anyway. If you're hell bent on keeping him on commentary.
You guys all spit. I'm actually going to swallow because as we broke this down, we talked about the stuff we did swallow versus stuff we spit. There was far more that we swallowed than we spit. And I mean, we talked about a few pretty good matches and a few pretty damn good segments. So overall, I'm gonna swallow AEW. Justin, where would you like to go next, Raw or SmackDown?
Let's do SmackDown since it's fresh. Since it's the freshest thing.
All right, so Daniel Bryan does the traditional I'm not going to leave this till I get what I want bullshit. Seth Rollins defeats Shinsuke Nakamura and then has a very interesting encounter with Cesaro. Adam, throughout the night, visits Edge and Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, which leads to a decision at the end of the night as to us getting a triple threat match at WrestleMania, which we all knew was coming. Ray versus Dolph. I didn't pay attention because it was Ray and Dolph, so I don't know who won that match.
Ray and Dolph beat him.
Ray beat Dolph.
I mean, wait, Ray and Dolph. No, yeah, Ray beat Dolph.
Randolph?
Randolph.
It was actually a good match.
Zach Randolph.
I had that work thing we talked about earlier going on, so I got a little distracted. Big E and the New Day lose to Apollo and the Alpha Academy. KO challenges Sami Zayn to a match at WrestleMania, and somehow WWE thought it was a good idea to bring in Logan Paul. And Bianca and Sasha get into it a little bit. Bianca defeats Natalya. Sasha hits a backstabber. Sasha's on commentary during the match. We also got a Bianca promo.
This is like 4 weeks too late.
Thank God Charlotte didn't show up. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank God Charlotte didn't show up.
I didn't think she was gonna show up.
Well, Reek kept going in my DMs and saying Charlotte's gonna be there. You're gonna be mad. Charlotte's gonna be there. She's gonna be on SmackDown.
That's what they were saying, man.
Motherfucker taunting me for a week. I am tense in my chest, just waiting for it. And then it came and went, and it was like, oh, thank God. Vince, what are you swallowing from SmackDown?
Oof. Honestly, anything Roman Reigns was on, I thought it was good. Like the Dan Bryan stuff, the Edge stuff, like that whole build-up, like it was a whole overlining story that was being told throughout the show. I thought that was probably the best part. Also, just because I get a kick out of it, Cesaro swinging Seth Rollins in the backstage area, I love that shit.
All right, so Daniel, like I said he wasn't going to leave the match till he gets leave the ring till he gets his rematch. Adam Pearce comes out, tries to get him out of there. Doesn't happen. Daniel's got all these ideas of how we can go about it to be fair, even though he felt like he didn't get a fair shot at the title. He's like, all right, well, if you don't want to give me a title shot in the same night like you guys made me do, give me a title shot on night 2 and put their title match on night 1. Like, we got options here. I'm willing to work with you. And Edge is not. Edge comes down. He's like, you lost. Fuck you. You lost. Here's a chair. You lost. And then the whole night, like I said, is just Adam Pearce like getting threatened by people. Like he goes to Roman and Roman's like, don't fuck this up, I'll kill you. And then he goes to Edge and Edge is like, don't fuck this up, I'll kill you. And then he goes to Daniel Bryan's like, fuck this up, make the right choice.
Basically.
And then he makes the right choice. Arguably, I'd prefer a one-on-one match, but he makes the right choice. And then those 3 men fight to close out SmackDown.
Yeah.
Get into it.
Love it.
Adam Pearce shows up to work to get punked
I like
out.
it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He shows up to work to get punked out by his employees. That's what his job is. Honestly, the only thing I'm spitting on this show was Bianca and Natty in that match, because I don't give a shit about what Natty does. And that Alpha Academy match with the Street Profits and stuff like that, I not really caring that much. I mean, seeing Big E with another tag team, it's just a little early for that for me.
Oh,
but,
you got a little in your feels there, huh?
Just a little. But I think the smartest thing they did with that was have Apollo get a win over Big E, because I didn't mention this before, but having him lose again at Fastlane was the wrong decision. Like, you didn't have to put the title on him, but you could have made it like a disqualification, a count out, something. Because technically, at to date, Apollo's lost 3 straight to Big E, and he's still getting another shot at WrestleMania.
But he did win this match.
Right. That's what I mean. Like that's the smartest thing. They did in this match.
Apollo.
So I think I might have missed that, but how did they justify Apollo getting another title shot? By winning this match?
He keeps losing and then fucking up Big E.
Basically, yeah.
And it's really hard. So it's like that relationship that you're in where you're with the girl and you know it's toxic and you break up with her, Vince. I know you've been through this. We've talked about it. But then she just like keeps talking shit to you and hurting your feelings and you have a hard time letting go. You keep coming back for the abuse.
Oh, no.
Time after time. You can't just end it.
You a glutton for punishment, Vince?
Why do you think he's in a room that looks like one of Dexter's kill rooms right now?
To be fair, my furniture didn't get delivered today like it was supposed to, okay?
We know we're just fucking with you.
He got the plastic down. He got the plastic down.
What about you, Justin? Anything? Vince, you also mentioned the Cesaro swing. So Seth defeats Shinsuke Nakamura, unfortunately, but as Rollins gets pissed off and just starts beating the shit out of Shinsuke, Cesaro comes down to make the save, and then Seth is in the back. He's like, I'm done with this shit. It's fucking over. We're going to have this match, and I'm going to be done with him. He's not worth my time. Cesaro comes in. He says, I'm never getting swung again, and swings him in the backstage with a crowd of people watching.
So Cesaro's going to go for 30 at WrestleMania. I'm calling it right now.
He should go for 37. One for every WrestleMania.
One for every WrestleMania.
There you
Might
go.
as well.
I like that.
Even if he doesn't win the match, as long as he gets to 37, that'd be the win.
Nah, he got to win. He got to win. Like that. It's time to start giving this man his due. After
question would this technically be Cesaro's very first singles match at WrestleMania?
Yes, it would.
I think it is, right?
It's a milestone. This is a milestone for him.
Absolutely.
The last big thing was the Andre, right? The Andre Battle Royal. That was like the big thing. Yeah.
Tag matches with the bars.
Oh yeah, the tag. Yeah, but that was pre-show,
33.
right? That was pre-show.
Well, it depends. Some
No, the last one was 33 in the tag match where the Hardys came back.
Oh, okay. Got you. Yeah. Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, this is a milestone for him.
Anything else from this episode you want to swallow, Justin?
Well,
Sammy?
I mean,
are you a Bianca stan like Vince down there? Or are you in the recant? Or I'm sorry, not Bianca, Natalia stan. Are you swallowing?
No,
there's
no Natalia.
Goes my way. I don't care.
There's no Natalia for me. I always like SmackDown. You know, it was kind of slow, but I will swallow this. But I do got one complaint though. I got one complaint.
What are you spitting?
Okay, this is what I'm spitting. Okay, I'm spitting Roman Reigns' footwear. All right. And we were talking about, if you listen to the Get Your podcast, we were talking about this before, me and Jay, about dudes coming in there. Now they got the money. Now they're going to buy the shoes, trying to flex now. I get that. Fine. But if you're the main card, you're the main event. We were talking about mid at best, right? You can't be wearing Jordan mids if you're the man. You can't do that. You can't do that. All right. You got to be wearing what's hype, what's popular, or even an OG colorway. Do not be coming out there wearing mids. That's not a look. That is not a look for him.
So a little sneak peek for the future. On the latest episode of the Get Yo podcast, which you guys can go listen to right now, the sweaty session is battle raps inspired by WrestleMania matches this year. We have the Roman Reigns and Edge, correct?
Yeah, Roman Reigns versus Edge.
Bianca and Sasha.
Yep.
And then after I commented that you brought it back, because I was excited because the first time you guys did this, I wrote a little diss rap for Hulk Hogan that did pretty well after I put it out there. I decided when you mentioned you're going to bring it back next time I come on that I was going to write a little rap for the Get Yo podcast, boys, for if I ever come on your show and have that ready. And in my rap, as I referred to everyone, I got to Justin. I was like, what can I say about Justin other than his sneaker fetish? Because that, like, some people are into like I like thigh high nylons. They turn me on. They do it for me. Some people like heels. Apparently, for you, it's sneakers.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm the only one here. Reek, Vince, right? I've
Nah,
seen
nah,
you guys
nah, nah,
post
nah.
up some pictures.
no.
Not like-
I'm
not like
right
that,
there
bro.
with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm
You
not,
But-
I'm not Justin levels, but I'm right
I-
right below.
I
Okay.
appreciate sneakers.
All
Just
right,
not
all right.
not like that. Not like that.
Okay. But if we're on the mid at best, that definitely should be a word for a mid Carter. If we're talking about mids.
Oh yeah, I agree. So the way I look at mid at best is mid card at best, and that's why I applied it to Kenny Omega, because I feel like if he was in WWE, Kenny
Yes.
Omega would sit around the U.S. Intercontinental title range. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see him in the main event. Whereas a guy like Sheamus, which we will talk about here very
Okay,
soon,
okay. We're getting there. Okay,
maybe a
gotcha,
different level.
gotcha.
But before we get
Gotcha.
into that, the only thing I want to swallow is I love the Kevin and Sammy idea and the match. And as Vince said, this final stage where KO is the good guy and Sammy is the bad guy, because we have not seen that version of it, and it's going to be at WrestleMania on a big stage. I hate, but I'm also spitting the Logan Paul. We do not need Logan Paul in WWE. Bad
Yeah.
Bunny is enough. We do not need Logan Paul.
I don't like
have
that
him at
you.
WrestleMania.
I don't like that you try to put Bad Bunny and Logan Paul in the same sentence.
No, I'm saying for celebrity appearance, we have Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is fantastic. He's
should be
really put
enough.
in the work. Bad Bunny is enough. You don't need to bring in another celebrity. That's what I meant.
Logan Paul ain't even a
100.
celebrity, man.
I'm about to
You
say
giving him too
Bad Bunny.
much.
Bad Bunny is a Grammy winner. Logan Paul is a YouTuber.
Right.
There's a difference.
Is that a Peacock thing? Do you think that was a Peacock thing? Getting Logan Paul?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
I hope
Hopefully, they
not.
don't do something stupid like make him a guest referee or something.
they're gonna censor the network and then bring in that jackass. That makes sense.
By the way, if you want to see some great censors, go check out the Smackin' the Raw Instagram account at Smackin' the Raw Pod. Our very own Matt Ritter here did some very good Photoshop work. while
Those
he was
pictures,
working.
man.
Oh my God.
Go ahead and check them out, guys. Give
All
it
of
a
your
look.
favorite Attitude Era moments censored with the Smacking It Raw logo.
When he gets going, man, I tell you, it's just
I know, man. Like he had like 4 spit out at one time. You know,
right.
You know,
I was like,
all I can
"Damn,
think,
dude."
all I can think about seeing all those hit the group chat was, "Please, sir, may I have some more?" That's all I could think about when I got more and more. I was like, "God damn it, is there more, please?"
I think that's gonna be my thing now, and I'm gonna make some
I
more.
mean,
Yeah,
the
there you go.
Shawn
There's
Michaels
one of them.
one is like,
Banger.
I'm gonna make some more, so you'll have some more. You'll have some more content coming.
Oh, you got to do a Kitty Vic one.
Yes, I looked at that and I was trying to figure it out. Actually, what I was gonna do was I was gonna do the Smack and Raw logo over Kane's face, and I was gonna do the Young Kings Wrestling on Katie Vick until Justin joined the group, and then I was
my
like, we can't do that now because Justin's here, and where do I put the Get Show podcast?
the Kaientai one was perfect, man. You could have done.
I should have done that one too.
Yeah.
SmackDown
Oh,
Spitter
man.
Swallow. Overall,
I'm
I
gonna
swallow.
gargle it for a little bit and reluctantly swallow.
I'll swallow.
Yeah, same, same.
The ending to the show got me more invested into the main event because we finally see that unhinged Edge that he's kind of been like tiptoeing around, but now he finally goes full fledged into it. Like I was saying in the chat, it reminded me of like 08 when he had that feud with Taker and they went into Hell in a Cell. He just snapped. Like that kind of gave me those vibes for this. So, and now he's officially a heel going into this match. So it's like,
The thing I would like about that too is that clearly Roman's retaining this title, and it looks like they're planting the seeds for Daniel Bryan versus Edge leading after WrestleMania. And all the motivation in the world is, dude, you couldn't even mind your own fucking business. I had my own one-on-one match, and you ruined it. You all out here trying to cock block and make this into a threesome when I just won one-on-one Roman time.
I disagree. I think this is setting up either Edge to win and have an intense feud with Daniel Bryan, or just reverse. Daniel Bryan wins, and he's going to continue this feud with Edge. Not that Roman's going to fall out of the picture, because he'll just be hovering over it, depending on who wins there. But I think it sets that up perfectly, because either which way, it protects Roman now that you have a triple threat. He doesn't have to lose.
unless of course after this match, Roman goes on to feud with Adam Pearce over this decision, and it cost him, leading to Adam Pearce being removed as general manager and Sonya Deville stepping in.
He could do that. He honestly could do that. Like the next pay-per-view after that, you could have Edge face Daniel Bryan for the title, and Roman could just beat Adam Pearce's ass for how many ever minutes he so chooses to on the card.
I just don't think they'll take the title off for Roman.
I'm swallowing for the simple fact that Charlotte did not show up, and that made me the happiest it could have ever possibly made me. Monday Night Raw, our final show, the show that Reek has been waiting to talk about. We kick it off with Bobby Lashley defeating Sheamus. We got Drew coming down to save Sheamus. We got a heated encounter between between Bobby Lashley and Drew, where MVP backs them down. And then we've got the story throughout the night of Bobby Lashley being very, very, very disappointed in the Hurt Business, his associates, which worries me a little bit. Not sure how I feel about that. Asuka defeating Peyton Royce. Peyton got her shot after her promo. Rhea showing up to challenge Asuka at WrestleMania. Adam telling Drew that the Hurt Business wants a handicap match, which Drew agrees to. Drew will win that match later on. Miz and Morrison give us a preview of a new song they debuted. Bad Bunny and Revenge.
I liked it.
And Jeff Hardy had a match that no one cares about. AJ Styles loses to Kofi. New Day saves us from an AJ promo because it was going bad. We find out that AJ doesn't know shit about Omos. Sheamus says he doesn't back down. Drew stuck his nose where it doesn't belong. And then Matt Riddle decides to come in and just piss off Sheamus. And now, if Sheamus wasn't already dick slapping Vince with his mid at best comments, he is going to fuck up Matt Riddle and move right up there to Bobby Lashley tier for me on Monday Night Raw. I cannot wait for it. Elias loses to Braun. We get more Shane and Elias bullshit. Randy Orton, Alexa, and The Fiend. Kofi Kingston has broken something and he is pissed. Or no, I'm sorry. Kingston has broken. Oh, wow. That's not where that's supposed to be. No wonder I didn't talk about that on AEW. Somehow, the end of my notes are all AEW stuff, which is why we didn't even talk about Taya versus Nyla, because that happened and that was dope. And I love Taya, so I'm swallowing that as well. That's why I didn't bring up the Kingston promo, and that's why I didn't see Darby versus John Silver down there, because I put them at the end of Raw for some reason. So yeah, Monday Night Raw ended with the Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss stuff. Fiend almost getting burned again. You know I'm swallowing that all day. It is my favorite fucking thing. As I said on Young Kings Wrestling in the post recap, they took my 3 favorite things, horror movies, wrestling, and porn, and they put them into one segment at the end of Fastlane. They gave me the rebirth of The Fiend as a Jason Voorhees-esque character, with Alexa Bliss leading him around and giving him commands and basically in control of him, which I said from the very get-go of that relationship that Alexa Bliss was really the one manipulating The Fiend, not the other way around. I can't wait for this match. I can't wait for what we are seeing. Randy got dropped. All fantastic. Give me that tag team match between Randy and his wife versus Alexa and The Fiend. I'm down for all of it.
Oh, yeah. Kim worked herself into a shoot.
Yeah, for real. For real.
That was some funny shit.
My question is, how long can they keep how long are they going to keep this version of The Fiend going?
Forever. If they want to, forever. Because I looked at it, it's gloves, and then it's just his regular, like it's just a burnt version of a suit. I don't think it's really anything that much extra. It just looks extra. I don't think it's going to be heavy.
What about the
mask?
Doesn't it look like very extra prosthetics or anything?
No, it's the same mask, just a little bit melted. I don't think it's anything extra on that either. I think if they wanted to run with it, they could run with it. They might not. There are rumors that Bo Dallas is the melted Fiend, and that might be the return of Bo Dallas. So we will see if there's any truth to that. Yep, I heard that. I've been saying they get Bo involved for a while, but no, I'm swallowing that all day. Vince, what are you swallowing for Monday Night Raw? I'm gonna make Reek wait because I know he wants to get into it, and I'm gonna make him wait.
I think I want to swallow the whole fucking show, to be honest.
No,
for real?
No.
Yeah, I mean, like there were some low points for the most part. You know, not everything was a fucking hit, but I liked what they were doing, and like the whole overlying storyline with the Hurt Business, the Miz Bad Bunny stuff. I liked the Braun stuff, yes, because I don't fuck with Braun Strowman whatsoever. Sheamus fucking knocked it out of the park with Bobby Lashley. The Fiend, Randy Orton stuff has been amazing. All of it, like honestly, all of it. Raw might be my best show of the week.
So since you brought it up, let's talk about it. Bobby Lashley and Sheamus knocked it out of the park. Reek, you got anything to say on that?
I just have a question. For Mr. Daddy Delgado here. First and foremost, this was day 2 of a 2-day stretch for Sheamus, in which the night before he put on what would have been the match of the night had it not been for Daniel Bryan and Roman at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the absolute shit out of each other. Then he went on to have a match the very next night with the WWE champion. And this follows just 3 months after, because I remember this was the night of the Royal Rumble recap, where you said that man is mid at best. And Matt knows this. I said it on the last show we did, that ever since you said it, somebody tapped into the segments and the shows that we do, and they took an audio clip and they sent it to Sheamus. And Sheamus plastered those words, printed them out, and put it up on his headboard, his shower, his car, every single thing he could possibly find, and said, okay, since I'm mid, I'm going to show you some shit. And ever since then, he usually puts on bangers on the regular, but just banger after banger, just slapping. So my question for you, sir, and I need an honest answer without you capping over here, okay? Is Sheamus still mid at best?
Nah, man, Sheamus was never mid at best. He was never mid at best. I just kind of like rolled with it. I was feeling myself, I was feeling my Stephen A. Smith and just saying something outlandish just to say it. I'm glad that it led to some great content from Sheamus, because look, my whole core premise was that I don't ever just look at a Sheamus match and get excited. Like the only exception has been like his stuff with the Bar, or now recently with Drew McIntyre. I've never said he was a bad wrestler, just that for the most part, I just wasn't really a fan. I shouldn't have said he was mid at best, but I kind of like leaned into it. And for the last 3 months, Rick has not let up. So no, Sheamus is not mid at best. But you're welcome, Sheamus. If I did light a fire under you, you're welcome.
So do you now have Sheamus matches that are worth watching to you?
I'm not gonna go back and watch them probably.
You're not gonna go back and watch that Royal Rumble match ever?
I'm not.
You're not gonna go back and watch this Fastlane match ever?
If I go back and watch the pay-per-view and it comes on, I'll continue watching the pay-per-view.
Cesaro and Sheamus? Remember Cesaro and Sheamus? That feud?
Best of 7, right?
Yeah, best of 7. Yeah,
I'll probably pick the best match of the best of 7 feud, and that's it. I won't watch the whole.
But they were all all right.
All right. So Vince said he was swallowing everything. Justin, is there anything particular from this? Whether it's the Miz, the AJ Styles stuff?
I'm gonna gargle this show.
Okay.
But just because are we getting to the spit part yet or no?
No, I wanted to see if there was anything you wanted to swallow. Positive.
Oh yeah, my
my
bad.
Is there anything you want to swallow? I got plenty of spit. So
No.
Reek, you got anything else you want to swallow?
I think Rick wants to spit me and my attitude right now.
Listen. I have lost energy for your blasphemous comments. I can't. I don't know. There's a couple things that I'm spitting on this show. First off,
we're not there yet. Swallow.
Swallow. Well, starting the show off, Lashley, that match, the entrance, it's all fire. Fiend and Randy Orton, of course, easily. Kind of the stuff with AJ and New Day, because it's like it's fresh, it's something new.
No. I'm with you on that. I am swallowing AJ versus the New Day. The promo after the New Day came out 100%, because when they came out and said, you don't even know almost, and AJ is like, yes, I do. And they're like, what's his favorite ice cream flavor? And he's like, vanilla bean. And he's like, no, it's not. What's his favorite color? It's mauve. Who's his favorite wrestler? Oh, it's the phenomenal AJ Styles. No, it's Andre the Giant. Like that whole thing. I absolutely loved that. They killed it.
I do want to say that I like the fact that in the match, Xavier Woods tried to distract AJ Styles by using like the trombone and playing his old TNA Impact theme song. And at the end, it's like, I am. I fucking loved it.
I didn't catch that. Oh.
If it's entertaining, then it works for me. I will give that a thumbs up every single time.
I'm also swallowing, like I said, the idea that Riddle is just annoying everyone. Like he annoyed Shinsuke. We saw he annoyed Keith Lee. Now he's annoying Sheamus. And the fact that I'm not the only one that exists that is just annoyed by his presence all the time makes me happy, because the New Day was kind of fucking with me a little bit. Like I was turning on the New Day because they were supporting this man. And I hate him that much that he could turn me on the New Day for being friends with him. So the fact that Sheamus is like, fuck this dude, I'm all for that.
You know something? I you know, because I mentioned before, I'm watching 2002. You know, I think I got somewhat of an idea of why they like Matt Riddle so much. I watched a promo, I think it was No Mercy 2002, by a guy who's very well known and is expected to go into the Hall of Fame very soon. Mm-hmm. Rob Van Dam had I'm talking like, you got to go back and watch it. It's very similar to what we hear from Matt Riddle on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And Rob Van Dam, back in those days, was getting some pretty good pushes. So I can see that they're clearly drawing some similarities between the two. And obviously, of course, they're both stoners, so naturally they sound the same. But on top of that, with some, regardless of how you feel about them, some very good abilities in the ring. You can't escape past that. They are talented in ring, but combine that with this whole, like, clearly you're a fucking stoner who's just trying to make the time pass with your promos. That's what RVD was doing. It's like, okay.
Right.
I do love him riding around in his fucking scooter in backstage. I don't know who the fuck he interrupted. He just kind of like just...
Reek, what are you spitting?
Oh man, I love it. All right, so first off, that whole the match with Asuka and Peyton, because after all that talking that you did, like, I got behind Peyton, and I have never been behind Peyton. I've always been a Billy Kay guy, and after all that talking that you did on Raw Talk, and you came out and this didn't cut it for me. This didn't cut it. You didn't have to win, but they could have looked a little bit stronger than this.
She did say she did it better than the majority of the roster, and she did not prove that she does it better than the majority of the roster.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That,
yeah,
like,
it made her look better.
You gotta back this talk up. Braun and Shane.
Well, before we move on from that, I'm spitting the Rhea promo. Rhea did not look comfortable coming out doing that promo. I did not like her challenge. I did not like that promo whatsoever. I'm spitting that all day, and I'm mad because I was the advocate of, I want Rhea versus Asuka over Asuka versus Charlotte again. Put Rhea on my TV, and then Rhea came out, and she just did not look like she was comfortable on Raw, cutting that promo, doing whatever they gave her. It didn't work for me.
Yeah, it was. I guess it was the first night jitters, because I like that she came out and, you know, she's getting right into it, not wasting any time. But like you could tell, like, she wasn't comfortable.
It felt like it was hot shotted, specifically because of the Andrade situation. And I don't know if Charlotte just doesn't want to participate in WrestleMania because of it. She's just sitting out, and they just pivoted pretty fast because it didn't. I didn't get any inclination that Rhea was going to show up anytime before WrestleMania. I was under the impression she was going to show up the night after WrestleMania, big debut, just like most Raw after WrestleManias. But they needed a name to go up against Asuka. Charlotte's out, so they're like, fuck it, let's throw Rhea. And I don't think Rhea was ready to be thrown into that women's title picture.
Rhea was not ready for Monday Night Raw.
She was gonna show up before Mania, but they kind of reverted course about it because Charlotte's going to be out. And we was talking about it before.
When you weren't here because you were late.
Charlotte is basically...
Good calls.
She was standing by her man, made sure that they got him out of that contract because he wanted out. And I guess a condition of the deal, from what we've heard, is that they said, okay, we'll let him out of the deal if you sit out Mania. And I guess that's kind of where this whole talk about her having COVID is coming from,
because
Supposedly she had it, but it's like she was going to show up on SmackDown tonight, and that wouldn't make sense at all. If you've been recovering from it, you wouldn't be showing up, days later. But yeah, it just. I don't think Rhea's ever been that great on the mic, but there's a difference. Like you could tell when she's feeling it, she's confident. She wasn't at all. I don't know if the Thunderdome got her nervous or what, but it didn't work. But what else did I have? Yeah, everything with Braun and Shane, like that. Just after the green slime, you lost me because I talked about how this could have worked for me, but the way that you're doing it, I don't even care. And the worst part is, and I told Matt this, I feel like Shane's gonna win at Mania, just to spite everybody. Like this is a rib on Braun Strowman. Somehow, some way, he must have somebody. He got to have pissed off somebody because this is clearly they're just ripping the shit out of him. But the last thing
like
is
Vince McMahon's sandwich or something in catering. He was like, "God damn it, he ate my sandwich."
them steak wraps. You can't touch them steak wraps.
Maybe Braun Strowman touched him because we know how.
Oh, yep. The Titus O'Neil.
I was gonna say
the Titus O'Neil suspension was fucking bogus, man.
Braun's also not black, so that might not be the case. What else you got, Reek?
The last thing was that the whole stuff with Bobby after the match, talking to all the jobbers in the locker room, because it completely contradicted but that's the thing. It's like it would be fine, but it completely contradicted everything that you just yelled at the Hurt Business about. It's like you're saying, I don't want you out here because you make it look like I can't hold my own. But then you go to the locker room and say, whoever takes Drew out, because y'all couldn't get it done, y'all get a shot at the title. Okay, so it's like,
fair.
Which way you leaning, bro? Are you good or are you not good?
Yeah, that's something I was going to bring up before we wrapped up Raw. It's like I felt like he was contradicting himself from start to finish. Like it was two different Bobby Lashley's, like motivation wise. And I honestly just didn't like. I just didn't like it. I either pick one side or the other. You either make him be like this dominant Brock Lesnar guy that doesn't want help, or make him more of a traditional heel where he wants to get every advantage he get leading up into his title match.
I definitely want the Bobby Lashley that we had in the beginning of the night where he was like, you guys made me look bad than the other Bobby Lashley. I will say I did just love like he picked the worst group of guys outside of the newly jacked up fucking Humberto Carrillo to go try and take out Drew. Like he just picked. Also, Reek, real quick, what fucking roster is Drew Gulak on? Did he get drafted to Raw? Because last I remember he was on SmackDown. If he didn't get drafted to Raw, why the fuck is he in the Raw locker room hanging out?
I think what it really comes down to is that any of the roster who is considered, I like to call it in the 24/7 division, any of them who are in that group probably don't have a real roster home. They just show up where they show up.
They float.
Okay. That's where I would consider Drew Gulak at this point, because he just because I've seen him on SmackDown a couple times, and then you see him back on Raw. So I don't know. He doesn't have a home. He's homeless.
I do have a theory. Here. I have an Austin theory here. And,
shout out.
I have an Austin theory here that if you really pay attention and dissect that whole segment, Ricochet was the one that was kind of intrigued by the prospect of taking out.
I picked that.
Yeah, so maybe this is kind of like a way to get Ricochet to turn heel and join the Hurt Business, maybe legitimize him a little bit. And maybe that's how you go. Maybe that's what the setup was, is try to get, but it was a stupid way to go about it. But that's the one thing I noticed was Ricochet really looked like he was very interested in that proposition.
We just got the Hurt Business with Bobby Lashley as champion, and we had Raw Tag Team Champions, and they have already began to just completely dismantle this faction, and I am not okay with it. I'm not okay with it.
I was going to say that too. Yeah, I was going to say the same shit. Like, do not start teasing a breakup.
Again,
I'm all for adding Ricochet into the mix, because then that alleviates any need to put MVP in matches. Now you have your 4. MVP is officially the manager. He was only doing promos. That's fine. But they just got together within the last 6 months.
completely.
Or maybe revamped, retooled, remade Hurt Business, because when Hurt Business started, Bobby Lashley and MVP were talking about how they wanted to do a revolving door of members in this faction with them as the core guys. So maybe they're giving the boot to Cedric and Shelton, bringing in the Ricochet and someone else.
So this is like the early version of the Nation of Domination, where they just had a bunch of random fucking people, and now we're gonna get down to like the core version with like the people we actually care about.
Something like that.
I can see that. Like they're getting rid of
we're getting rid of Chains.
Chains, yes. And what's the Puerto Rican guy?
Savio Vega.
Savio Vega.
Oh
Savio Vega. Yes.
And
That was
Ricochet
like
Ricochet can be the Owen Hart.
D'Lo Brown.
I can see it.
Shelton's definitely D'Lo. Shelton's
okay. If they keep him right now, Shelton is Savio Vega.
Probably. Poor Shelton.
Jesus.
If that's the case, right? And they're gonna just switch out.
Keith
Go
Lee.
get Rick. Oh yeah, of course. Keith Lee. Get Ricochet. Get Dio Madden, and get Naomi. I don't want to see her with Lana no more.
Yes, yeah.
Wasting away doing that. It's just
And
like,
that shit.
I get you're having fun. But listen, we got more important shit for you to do.
I'm also gonna spit the entire Miz and Morrison segment. I don't like their music videos. I don't think they're funny. I hate Miz TV. I don't understand when it's Miz TV.
I like the song, man.
Yeah, I bet you
had a nice beat.
You look
Had a
like
nice
somebody
beat.
who likes that song. I'm looking at you right now, and I'm like, I can see you liking this song. I hate that shit. I'm spitting it personally. Overall, Monday Night Raw, spit or swallow, because I'm gonna make sure this is under 2 hours. God damn it.
Spit.
I'm a swallow.
Spit.
I'll swallow.
I'm gonna gargle undecidedly. I'm on the fence with a lot of shit. There was a lot of good. There was a lot that I did not like. So,
Yeah.
Justin, what was your favorite show of the week?
I gotta go NXT. Always and forever.
Reek, what was your
Same.
favorite show of the week?
Same. There was, like I said before, there was really nothing that I could say I didn't like on NXT this week.
Vince, what was your favorite show of the week?
As much as I liked NXT, I don't know, for whatever reason, I really enjoyed Raw more this week, except for the Braun Strowman stuff. So I'm going to give it a Raw this week.
Okay.
Your opinion's been at best. I am also going to go with NXT. So officially from the host of the Smackin' Raw podcast, 1/4 of the Get Yo podcast, 1/3 of the Young Kings Wrestling podcast, and the host of the Havoc Hour. NXT, best show of the week this week.
Yay.
Yeah.
Sir.
Can't be mad at that.
We'll start to my left on my screen. Justin, please go ahead and let everyone know about Get Your Podcast, where they can find you, all that fun shit. Plug your socials.
That's right. You can find me on the Twitter, Get Your Podcast, Instagram, Get Your Podcast, and we're all available on every podcast network.
Yeah.
Reek, what you got?
Sir, y'all can catch me at ReekHavoc24 on Instagram and Twitter. You can find Young Kings Wrestling at YK Wrestling on Twitter and at YK Wrestling _ on Instagram. And we're on Anchor, Spotify. We're on YouTube now as well for the video. So check those out. Also, check out the Havoc Hour on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. And also check out the Instagram page _ the Havoc Hour _ I got my guys Matt on here. I got Vince on here regularly. So go check that out.
Yeah, we got to talk about that trade deadline. My Bulls made some moves.
Oh, dude, did you see that? Oh, my God.
I saw that.
Post-show stuff. You can
Yeah.
follow me at SES Vince, all social medias, everywhere. Go ahead and check us out on Instagram at Smackin' the Raw Pod. And go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Creation Worlds. Go ahead and give us a sub. You don't even have to watch the video, even though you should, but go ahead there and then go ahead and watch us on Pornhub, because we're back on Pornhub.
And as always, you guys can find me at Matt Ritter. There's at MATTRIDDER. Also, you guys can find Smackin' It Raw on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter is the same as the Instagram. It is Smackin' It Raw Pod at Smackin' It Raw Pod. Facebook, facebook.com/group/Smackin' It Raw. Also, please go check out Creation World. If you guys like other things besides wrestling, you got facebook.com/Creation World, Twitter and Instagram, The Creation World. That's THECREATIA World. And I think that's it. Other than, as Vince said, if you do go to my Twitter, you guys can find the link trees that'll get you to the YouTube and the Pornhub, where you can play the Where's Waldo's Penis game on our video. Please go check that out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
For the filthy Filipino, Justin Santos, Frozone, the Nature
Froze?
Blair, and Daddy Delgado himself. I am the
Yo.
Warden Matt Ritter. We are Smackin' It Raw, and we are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Yeah,
Number
yay.
one.